we know you are a R&B phenom. And I like to say that, and I don't say that lightly, ladies and gentlemen, because this lady right here has some pipes on her. If you ever heard her sing before, you know what I'm saying is actually correct. So with that being said, we understand that, you know, you first started your musical journey back 1990, and you had got introduced to the likes of Faith Evans, you know, Puffy and the family at the time after the passing, unfortunately, of Biggie Smalls, when you had the chance to hear the song Missing You. And it really brought an emotional attachment to you. So, like, what was that moment like for you? And was that the defining moment that let you know that you wanted to pursue a career in music?
It was a very sad time for everybody, I think, that, you know, was paying attention to hip-hop and music in general. And I was probably you know, around, I want to say 6 or 7 when I watched that performance with my mom and my brother. And I don't know, I mean, it just really stuck with me because I think you could just feel how much sadness everybody was feeling, and how sad everyone was and affected by that. So, yeah, it was just kind of like a core memory, I guess, that stuck with me. And I had an older brother who definitely influenced me a lot as far as having rap and hip hop and R&B in the house. So I knew that I wanted to do music professionally probably when I was just a little bit older, but I've wanted to be a singer since I was very small. So I guess I've had that aspiration since then, and since maybe being even younger, but I got more serious about it, you know, as I got older and got into choir and talent performances and stuff like that.
And I understand that, you know, in high school you was asked to sing the national anthem for your football team during the start of the game. So when you had that opportunity to be exposed to so many people seeing you sing, was that the first time that you ever performed in front of people?
Yeah, that probably really was. I mean, I performed in front of people when I was little, just like, you know, when we would have like parties and stuff, but it was just always my friends and family. So it's a little different when you're singing in front of people you're comfortable with. But when I was a freshman in high school, was the first time I sang the national anthem at one of the games. And it was probably the biggest crowd that I had ever sung for at that moment. And I was incredibly nervous. It took me a little time to get through it because I get very nervous. I have performance anxiety, and I have since I was very young. But yeah, that was really definitely one of my first major performances. And luckily after that, I just kept going, you know, even with nerves, I just kept going.
So now let me ask you, with that being said, because I hear a lot of artists that, you know, say they get performance anxiety from time to time. Do you still deal with that as a performer, or you find different ways to get around it when you get ready to perform in front of a crowd?
No, I definitely still suffer from it extremely. Like, but definitely with singing in front of people, but also with like even doing interviews and stuff, I get nervous. I think it's normal and it's part of it. And they say that like if you don't get nerves, then that's not a good thing because you want the nerves to feed into your performance. But I definitely still get nervous. I went through a long period of time where I wasn't really working on music and definitely wasn't performing. So recently I've had a couple chances to start performing again. And it's definitely different being a little bit older and being more experienced just with life in general. I still got very nervous, but I felt like I was able to control it a little bit better, which was refreshing. And I think just with time and age, you get to the point where you don't care anymore about what other people might be thinking as much as I might have when I was a lot younger. So I've just gotten to the point in life where I know that music brings me so much happiness and singing brings me so much happiness that I try and focus on the good things about it and not let my insecurities or my nerves try and control what I'm doing.
I like that answer. And quiet as kept, I'm going to be very transparent with you as well. I got a little nervous before the start of this interview too, because because I'm one of those type of people, like, I know, like, you know, artists, they deal with a lot of different hosts, they deal with a lot of different personalities, and I know a lot of artists get asked a lot of the same questions, so a lot of the nerves come from with me who's just not wanting to be a lame or a dull or boring interview, and I'm hoping I'm not doing that so far, but you know, I had to disclose that to you.
That's not at all, and I appreciate that. I always get nervous, and my mind has a habit of always thinking the worst case scenario with something, so I'm always nervous that the interview's not going to go good, or I'm just going to say something really stupid, or just anything like that. So no matter what questions I'm asked, I'm always just happy to be interviewed by people that are interested in what's going on and supportive of music and supportive of just artists in general. So I appreciate it.
No problem. So let me ask you, with that said, what is the most, should I say, stupidest question that you've had a host ask you during the course of an interview? I'm curious now. I have to know.